or in YouTube. I'm in Je suis in Paris today, as promised. And this is the introduction to that Making Sense conference that we're talking about. This is a bit weird because I'm sitting down, and I don't usually sit down and make videos, and I don't have any dogs with me. So if you've got a dog, pet it right now on my behalf. Oh.
Wi-Fi.
Hang on.
It says you have to go for the petite salle, and then the password is cinema stop 21. So cinema point 21. Sorry, I didn't say that.
So there you are. If you're in the centre of Pompidou, you know what the password is for the Wi-Fi.
And this is Bandery. We'd like to welcome you all to this, the second international interdisciplinary colloquium of Making Sense.
Yes, you need to use the microphone. Yeah. You have a HF microphone. I took this one.
Something about microphones, I didn't really understand all that. Here we go.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Is that better? Yes. Don't know how I'm going to turn the page. Anyway, we're delighted to bring together artists and philosophers, scholars and students, thinkers and writers from all around the world. We meet to build an interface between artistic creation, theoretical debate and academic scholarship. We assemble here to collaborate as artists. I think we are all artists. And we can think of this event as like a collaborative installation or performance. Today we want to formulate new ways to frame and develop discourse, and found a new way of making sense that can challenge and invigorate the protocol, regulation and system of academia. Now, before I introduce what's going to happen over the next 2 days, I'd like to say something about language. Today and tomorrow we have presentations given in English and in French. We are bilingual. I'm not. My French is appalling, but the point is you can speak in your native tongue, and do not hesitate to ask for translation when it's needed. You could say that we seek pure translation to make sense and find a meaning that flows between our languages. Now, this is the second Making Sense colloquium. The first was held at the University of Cambridge last year. It proved to be such an inspired and creative gathering of like minds that we decided to club together and to do it again, building a community joined and inspired by the arts to find new ways of thinking together. Our aim for this second event and this ongoing series of events is to build and share our community and to prompt apraxy. We use art to feed and nourish the senses. We want to make rhizomatic connections across diverse fields of inquiry and consider how we can think creatively together about meaning, identity, the world and language. We want to use art as a medium of exchanging new ideas in a format that is accessible, transversal, constructive and sensuous. Today we want to form a creative language that celebrates our differences and can liberate us. We use art to open an interface for difference, which can counteract and redistribute the elite hierarchy that operates our institutions. From the 50 or so people who came to Cambridge, we formed a small group of a committee to organise the second event. I'd like them to stand up so you all know who these people are. Pierre-Antoine Chastel, Patricia Ribaud, Jean-Luc Morisseau, Yves-Marie La, Corinne Gottman, Marguerite Bernier, and Van Leeuwen. Thank you for your hard work and patience. I'd also like to thank the institutional partners of Making Sense, which is Cambridge University, Yale University, the Institut Télécom, l'Institut de Recherche et d'Innovation, École Supérieure d'Art et de Design de Reims, and King's College London. I'd also like to thank Camille Thiebaud for her help with the poster and the flyer, and Claire Pelot. The committee who organised this colloquium, we made a mission statement for Making Sense, which you will find handed out on a leaflet, and I'd encourage you to read that and contribute to an ongoing dialogue about what making sense means. Now we have a very full and fertile schedule over the next 2 days. At 3 different locations, there's going to be quite a lot of moving around. Today at the Centre Pompidou, we are proud and honoured to present our keynote speaker, Professor Bernard Stiegler. who begins the day working with artists Philippe Moulin and Anastasia Macredo-Pretino and Eric Foucault of Eternal Network. Hang on. At this colloquium, we have presentations and performances from artists and philosophers who each bring a different way of thinking about sense and making a sense that is sumptuous for the sense organs, a sense which is animate, conceptual, theoretical, scientific, a sense that is dancing, delicious or technological. There are so many different ways of making sense, and you will find stimuli for all of your senses over the next 2 days. Hearing, sight, smell, touch, taste. Now this colloquium and our collaboration, it requires active participation from you. There's no getting out of it, you're here now, you have to perform. We're going to make some sense together. Tomorrow we actually have 2 workshops happening, where we'll actually be creating and performing together. We're going to make some sense together, as I said. Now something I need to introduce in preparation for tomorrow is PA Scancy is going to be taking tongue impressions from willing participants. Now this is non-invasive and not unpleasant. We'll have to wait and see about that. At this event, we want to create a new and creative form of academic scholarship. This will happen in both real space and cyberspace. Firstly, I'd like to say real space is a book, a real space. We've got our first book coming out in April next year, and I'd like to thank my co-editor, Elizabeth Rush, for her excellent help, hard work with that. I'd also like to say that we want to make a second book, because it's quite exciting, and after today, we will be creating a second volume. And so there's lots of new creative scholarship happening in real space. But we also have cyberspace. We have new academic scholarship coming across the cyberspace. And this is Fred McVitie, our artist in residence, who brings us the conference report. This is a collaborative
Just dropped my docs. Now I'll do. Oh well.
With the social media site, the electronic environment of social media, and the video sharing site YouTube. Events taking place here at the colloquium and at the Centre Pompidou and at our other locations will be put live onto YouTube. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work, but we're going to have live data going onto YouTube, and there'll be a parliament of online voices who will interact with us in the geographical space here, and there'll be like a kind of Fred, you'll have to explain it to everyone in the break.
All right, I'll do that.
Another person who's helping us with our web presence is Renata Ferry and Timothy Murray, who bring us Empire. Empire is an online mailing list, a listserv, which provides an experimental forum for public thought and debate about digital art and culture. With Empire, in October, making sense is the topic of conversation. And right at the moment, we're in the middle of a very interesting discussion about what making sense means and the power problems of institutions. And it's been fascinating, and this dialogue will continue, and I hope that we provide lots of source material for it over the next 2 days. We have 3 artists in residence at this event. We have Fred McVitie, who will be doing his thing online. We also have Janice Perry, who will be making sense of making sense as it happens throughout the day, creating new multimedia site-responsive work that responds to what's going on and how we can make sense using the internet and web presence. And we have to. She has said that we have to go online. There's a page on Facebook which is involving Janice Perry, and we have to say what makes us feel powerful. When we talk about power, that's a very interesting discussion.
Wait, so people can do that here?
Yeah, there's a computer there, and we can use that computer to talk about power on the internet. Yeah. We also have Terence Latiche. We have 3 artists in residence, but actually I think we can all be called artists, and we reside here for this colloquium, so we can make sense together. We have 3 exhibitions shown in the Salle Piazza here at the Centre Pompidou, which you can see in the lunch break, and later on today we can go and see the exhibition. It's open in the Salle Piazza. Here we have on show a selection of paintings from the New York artist collective Prometheus, which is curated by Vandy Lee and Frank O'Kane. We also have a collection of works by the French Society Mémoire de l'Avenir, which is represented by Marguerite Berrier, Patricia Crévaux, and Amélie Cabosel. Marguerite will speak about this tomorrow. And we also have a sculpture by the Canadian artist-engineer Claudiane Auloc-Clementon. This evening we have a performance, and we have a second performance. After, I should have to finish that. After drinks. Drinks is very important. After drinks we have a performance. Tomorrow evening we have a second performance, which is our grand finale at New York University, Paris. We have sumptuous stimuli for your senses. Prepare for an intense couple of days. And to kick it all off, I'd like to welcome Professor Van Stiegler, who's going to speak with Philippe Moulin and Anastasia Marcadeau, Bretino and Eric Foucault. And I have to read this out because my French, as I told you before, is appalling. But I've prepared it. Le philosophe Bernard Stiegler est depuis 2006 directeur de l'Institut de recherche et d'innovation du Centre Georges Pompidou. Il est professeur associé à l'Université de Londres, Goldsmiths College, et à l'Université de technologie de Compiègne. Il est directeur du département du développement culturel du Centre Georges Pompidou. Ses recherches portent sur la philosophie des techniques, sur la question du désir, ainsi que sur la figure de l'amateur qu'il définit par opposition à celle du consommateur dans le contexte émergent d'une économie de la contribution. Ces recherches sont importantes pour Making Sense parce qu'elles nous donnent un sens de la technologie qui définit l'humain et comment nous pouvons créer un sens technologique du monde aujourd'hui. Ces activités avec l'association Ars Industrialis sont particulièrement notables. Cette association a été créée en 2005 à l'initiative de Stiegler. Dans le manifeste, elle se présente comme une association internationale pour une politique industrielle de l'esprit. Moi, je me demande où est l'art dans l'Ars Industrialis. Peut-être lorsque ce colloque, nous pouvons considérer comment la pratique artistique pourrait réenchanter le monde et créer un nouvel âge. Nous collaborons avec Ars Industrialis. Aujourd'hui, Professeur Stiegler va parler avec les artistes Philippe Moulin et Anastasia Marcadeau, Bretino et Eric Foucault de l'Eternal Network. Philippe Moulin, il est un artiste plasticien connu pour son travail avec local contemporain et laboratoire. Avec ses initiatives, Moulin produit un art qui est un foyer de recherche autour des pratiques quotidiennes des territoires urbains contemporains. Son art donne un sens de la vie locale ordinaire qui est attentif aux spécificités innovantes ou résistantes à la mutation globale de nos sociétés. Eternal Network est un groupe d'artistes qui porte la création artistique au cœur d'une série de problématiques actuelles comme le développement urbain, les nouveaux modes de sociabilité, la transmission et l'apprentissage des savoirs ou l'appréhension d'une mémoire et par extension d'une identité. Eternal Network développe son activité en partenariat avec d'autres acteurs publics et privés qui croisent ses préoccupations et agit en complémentarité avec les institutions œuvrant dans le domaine de l'art contemporain. Aujourd'hui, Professeur Stiegler va discuter avec Philippe, Anastasia et Eric art, territoire, individuation à l'époque du post-consumérisme et de la post-mondialisation. C'est difficile, non. Alors, maintenant, nous ferons des sens ensemble.
Lecture short of 15 minutes. I'm going to stop this now before Stiegler comes up. Probably speak better French than I do.